we were talking about the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series with the tire stuff earlier. I was going to transition that and let you for a second. I know we had a big week on announcements, series commitments, and guys planning to run the whole tour this year. You want to tell us a little bit about that and tell us how you're feeling? I think how many guys we got signed up now to run the whole tour?
Dang, you asked me that number. I think it's 17. Is that where we're up to? I think.
I feel like I've heard that number, so it's at least that.
Yeah, so I believe it's up to 7. It's over 15 at this point. And yes, as you mentioned, Jonathan, we had a busy week in the driver commitment department this week. We had started off the week with Josh Henry, the reigning Valvoline Ironman Series champion, I believe from Tennessee. It says he's threw his hat in the ring, if you will. And then we had Trent Ivy, the little head knocker.
That's an interesting one. I didn't. It was kind of a little bit of a surprise, a good surprise to see he's planning on running the series.
So he's one that's always been hit, kind of hit, like he doesn't race a whole lot, but when he does, he's pretty good. Like really good at Eldora. Always seems to run good there.
He blew Joseph's doors off at one time.
He did. Yep.
For a transfer spot.
That was a heartbreak, by the way.
Yeah. Was it too soon? I'm sorry. I thought we were over that by now.
So got him, and then Zach Mitchell. He's the guy that's been just really good. Another South Carolina driver, really good at the regional level. I think he's won some national tour stuff back in the day, but always really good in the Carolinas. Former Ultimate Series champion and Carolina Clash champion. He'll be really good. He ran with us some last year. Had a second at the East Alabama, the August race we had at East Alabama. He'll be really good. And then, of course, former last year's or 2 years ago, World of Outlaws Late Model Series Rookie of the Year, Tanner English, is with the Viper Motorsports team, is committed to running the series this year. So I would say probably, that stretch there was probably made a huge significance difference in the competition level of the series for this year with especially those last 3 guys signing on board.
Yeah, I feel like that's a quality field we're looking at now. I felt last year's was good. Don't get me wrong, but you just have so much more. You have a lot of really good guys saying, "I'm gonna try to run this series and see what I can do with it." Joseph, as a competitor, and planning on running the series, when you see more and more guys signing up and guys that are going to be hard to beat, how does that kind of make you feel? What do you think about that?
Be a tough one. It's all it's just gonna be hard. It was hard last year, gonna be harder this year.
You just gotta go to work.
Gotta go down, just go race,
I know in a couple of our promo videos we did last year, a lot of guys said this, but I know specifically I remember Joseph saying it, that if you win it, right, and you've done something, right? Like
right.
It's something
you didn't just show up to every race. You actually had to beat quality competition.
And this year, not that, Josh Putnam, that was a big accomplishment, I think, for him winning our series, be our inaugural champion last year. Not taking anything away from that. But I think this year, if you win it, you're going to it's not like it's huge, right? Like, I think it's something that, I think you'll have your Lucas Oil World of Outlaws champion and then, the Front Series champion be just, step down from that. I think it's a big deal. I think it's obviously the money, the points fund money being there.
Yep.
But the amount of guys that are going to be competing for it, you've done something if you win our championship at the end of the year.
It'll be a pretty prestigious title to hold this year.
Exactly. Yeah. It'll be one that definitely goes high on the resume for and hopefully that's the way it is going forward. Every year is guys see this as something they want to have on their resume. Not only winning our races, but also, winning our points and being our champion, Rookie of the Year, all that stuff. Like, I think, for a guy in the Southeast, what we're building here, I think it's going to be, and that was our goal, was something they all want to be a part of and want to, say they won, so hopefully that's working. It must be because the guy's signing up to do it. So.
Does it make you feel good? All these guys signing up and when you see an announcement go out on Facebook about, Tanner English or you name it, any of these guys signing up, you kind of, you feel accomplished each time another driver says he's running the tour?
It's good because you put this deal together, and it was the same way last year, and not quite. We had a lot of drivers committing. We had 20. By the time we started at Alltech last year, and it was a lot of great regional guys. Not quite the same talent level, throughout the list as this year's we're getting. But anytime when you put something together, and last thing you want to do is you kind of put the word out there that we're doing this loyalty program or whatever, and then you get crickets, right?
Right.
Like, and I was really worried about it last year. Like, is anyone going to actually sign up for this? I want to do it. And it went well. And then this year, I had a feeling we were gonna get some of these guys, and we talked with them. We knew like Ashton Winger, Zach Mitchell, some of these guys were already considering it and kind of in talking with them about what we were planning on doing. But then like Carson Ferguson signing up, that was, one we weren't really sure or didn't really know. Trent Ivy's another one. Like, and the fact that we're appealing to a broad spectrum of drivers, right? Like you got the young up and coming guys like, Carson Ferguson and Trent Ivy, but you also got the veteran guys like Jeff Smith, like that him signing up really, I'm really happy about that. Someone who's been around a long time, ran a lot of races, kind of in the, on the backside of his career, and could choose to kind of just race locally, stay close to home, and he's won Carolina Clash championships and all that. Instead, he sees that and says, you know what, that's motivating me to get back on the road and go racing, right?
Yeah.
Like I want to be a part of that, and that's what he called before, before committing. We had a long conversation about that, he and I, and that really, the fact that we can appeal to a guy, like a rookie like Jackson Highs or Clay Harris, and at the same time, guys who I feel like are on top of the regional level in the Southeast, like a Zach Mitchell, Carson Ferguson, Josh Putnam, Joseph Joyner, if as well. I put him
Ashton
on that list.
Winger.
Ashton Winger, right? But and then also the veteran guys too. I think is shows that we're kind of hitting all our marks, and putting this deal together. So, and it's been a group effort. All our team, Logan, Gibson, and Jack on the PR and content side and production side, and Travis Scott and everyone on the series side, and then our business team trying to run it and make sure financially, budget wise, and all that. My wife Elizabeth does a great job with that and keeping us in line and making sure I don't get too, too ambitious. But it's going well. So hopefully, it's just building more and more excitement for March 15th and 16th at Talladega,
The Bama Bash.
and we have some others too, I think, coming on board. So
oh yeah, we're not done yet, huh?
With the announcements yet.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing that field at Talladega and who all we end up with, and then how it progresses through the year. Right, that's going to be tough. Like, it's going to be tough to be in the top 5 of this thing, top 10 of this thing.
Yeah.
So, be interesting to see how that shakes out. You done a good job, Josh. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Well, speaking of, I didn't know if this was gonna come out early enough that I can mention it on here, but as it literally is showing just now on the Facebook post, not even 1 minute ago, we have announced our series announcer, the voice of the Hunting Front Super Dirt Series for the 2024 season. We of course promoted Travis Scott to our race day director of race day operations. We have to fill that gap as our announcer, we have hired Lenny Baticki out of North Carolina. So Lenny is, and I know you guys know because he came down and met with us last month, is, really to me, a guy that is, I'm glad we got him because he's very versatile and very experienced. He's done everything from NASCAR to drag racing to BMX and of course dirt track stuff. He announced actually with Travis at our Swainsboro race last year, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a guy who brings a lot of professionalism. And when I say that, he's not like overly polished, corporate type polished, but TV, type guy, but knows what we need as a series while also providing the excitement, fans, expect and love. So Lenny is, I think, going to be a great fit for us, with the series and some content things we have planned with him. But anyway, so that's actually out now on our Facebook series Facebook page.
There you go. Breaking news.